Joe, I'm going to stay with you because you're very interested in the next story. Back to the Sunday Telegraph very quickly, and $5 billion to ease the cladding crisis.
Yeah, I am interested in this story because I think it's so grossly unfair. Obviously, since the terrible tragedy of Grenfell, when, as we know, people lost their lives because of the cladding that was put on the building that actually turned the whole place into an inferno. And so, as a result of that, if you happen to live in a local authority property, the government has already paid to have that cladding removed. If you happen to live in a privately owned property, you've got to pay for it. And so many thousands of people have been caught in this terrible limbo where they are living in a place that's deemed to be unsafe. They are obviously frightened and concerned about the fire risk, but the cost of removing the cladding falls to them, which seems to be grossly unfair. So they can't move, they can't sell, they can't get mortgages in many cases. And it seems as though the government are finally looking at doing the sensible and humane thing and saying, OK, we will pay for this, £5 billion, let's remove the cladding. The government can take legal action to try and recoup the money further down the track from the contractors and the construction companies and the cladding companies. But it does seem that it's about time that so many people, and bear in mind that these are people who are, in many cases, they're young first-time buyers in former local authority housing and places like that. These are people that the government wants to vote Conservative. So actually it's in their interest to help them, not leave them stranded in this terrible limbo.
Nigel, before we turn to the Express, is there anything you want to add on that story?
Well, I agree with every word Joe says, that it is an absolute disgrace that more than 3 years after Grenfell, there is still cladding on flats anywhere. And so obviously, if they're putting up the £5 billion to get rid of it and get rid of it quickly, that's welcome. But these people are absolutely trapped, as Joe says. They have to pay for their own fire marshals to make sure the place is safe because they can't go to bed at night being certain of that. So this is long delayed, well overdue, and therefore the sooner it happens the better.
OK.